You are now listening to Sir Ink's The Experience Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything kink. Now, this podcast is only catered to those that are 18 and above and may not be suitable for work, or as we like to say, NSF. But remember, you can always listen to us during your private time. Hello, kinky and kinkiers folk out there. My name is Sir Ink. What up, everybody? Happy 2023. I'm wishing all your resolutions come true this year and you have peace, health, and prosperity in your life. Now, with that being said, let's get into this topic. Are we running Windows 95? Now, I'm going to compare running Windows 95 to how you're looking at relationships. And I feel as though, because now I'm 50 and I get to see the game differently from in decades, my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, and now I'm embarking on the 50s, but I'm in that middle area, right? And I'm looking back and I'm looking around me and I'm seeing guys, let me speak for guys. No, just not guys and ladies. All kind of still in this dating pattern where the expectations of what they want is a little unrealistic compared to the reality. And even if they were to get it, they're not even qualified to keep it. And so the mindset is what I'm saying. People are still stuck kind of in this 28 to 35 area where that's what they think life and how relationships going to be. And a lot of dudes are stuck in 25. You know, a lot of dudes are stuck in, I got to say a lot of guys are stuck at 25 years old. How they see relationships, how they look at women, how they operate with women. And I'm like, this is why women are bored. Like, these guys aren't bringing nothing new. You know, a lot of them just want to have sex, so they're willing to do anything for sex. You got helpless romantic dudes that may have a wife, but everything they deal with outside the house is some interconnected, emotional kind of connection. And, right or wrong, I just can't operate like that. I get if you get into that place, but it's like who you are, and so you got to know yourself. If you know you're a lover, then you have to understand what that means and know that if you're a lover, right, and you can love more than one person. I'm not saying it's not possible, right? But if you're loving more than one person, everybody needs to know who's being loved on, right? Because whether you say it or not, it's going to show up. Women are too intuitive for them not to feel how your energy shifts. So what I'm saying is you have 50-year-old men that are out here without the understanding of how women are, how women feel their way through situations. So they're basing their dating ideas on when they were 25 to 32, 25 or 28 to 35. Like, they're still in this trap. And some of it is societal and how society looks at relationships and how society tells you how to operate within and outside of that relationship as a man. And so we have to understand that once we get to the outside of the relationship, if that's not very clear, then those things that are going on outside the relationship are present inside the relationship. Like, don't get that twisted. Like, women know what's going on. They can make themselves overlook some things because they understand they have to deal with a certain level of shit when it comes to men, and just what it is. Like, we're like dogs. We're not tactful. We make noise. Like, we bark, wag our tail, we happy, head, tongue out. Like, our body language because we're outwardly expressive, our body language betrays us. But so we have to understand that. So if you're in a relationship and you're going outside that, it's a hard conversation to have, but it has to be something that's understood. No matter how you get that understood, it has to be understood, because when things are exposed, because things will be exposed, because you can't control people, you need to have everybody on board. The person that's closest to you needs to definitely be on board, and that's a tough place to be in, to have to man up, to have to admit some shit. But uh, it is what we owe people that are in our lives, and as responsible men, we should always want to keep these people included in on the main picture. And that doesn't always fit in today's society. So when I hear guys say, well, look, you're single, you could do things differently than we can, blah, blah, blah. But I'm saying, okay, cool. But you can say that, but if you're in a relationship and you're out here with other women, then you're in the single man's lane. And you're in the singles man's lane, dating like with the mindset of you when you was 28, when you was 32, 33, 34, 35. You're still looking at like, okay, I got this going on here. That's cool. That's solid. But then I'm out here doing this when I can't, here and there, da da da. And that seems cool. But are you really controlling that outside? Because I'm hearing a lot of dudes that's not really controlling the outside, and also allowing the outside to have just power that they should not. Especially if you're playing this in clandestine kind of thing. But that's all, we as a society, and I'm hoping that with all these nuances and relationships and genders and all this, people being outwardly expressive now with who they are, what they want, I'm just hoping that we can get to a place where people can just be like, yo, this is what I want. This is how relationships go. You have some people that can be totally faithful, and then you got some people that have wayward, outward behavior when it comes to that relationship, and men and women, and that's okay. Just be kind of clear with that. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, that kind of thing. And so I'm always for men empowering themselves and people coming to agreements. And one of the things is, as a man, like, you need to know who you are. So me as a man, who I am, and how I date in the world, and as I've always dated, I've never really liked dating bleeding hearts. I don't like the bleeding hearts that have romanticized love, and if the relationship doesn't go the way they've romanticized it, is something wrong. But that's to negate and also to overlook that you're in a relationship with someone else. And by the way, if we're in a relationship, like, ain't no way you giving me a script to read. I'm not about to be a co-star in your fucking play. It don't work like that, not with me. And so I tend not to, I don't gravitate toward those types of women. I can't do the bleeding hearts that, the heavy romanticists that think love is this, because they always get their heart broke. And the sad part about it is, no matter what, they always will look for something that jeopardizes that vision. And they can create problems with that too. So I'm good with the bleeding hearts. I mean, I'm not saying anything wrong with if you're a bleeding heart person. Hey, that's great. I'm just saying, as a man who I am, my personality, I know that doesn't work for me. Now, there's plenty of guys that works for. They like the romanticism part, and this love, this fantasy of love thing. And some people can achieve it, but it's not realistic for a lot of people. And I think that we as human beings have outgrown some of these social norms that's been placed on us. And as every generation, newer generation comes in, they have their own ideas, and everything is opening up more. And so I see life right now that people are willing to accept a lot more honesty. It hurts, but people are willing to accept more honesty. I just think that we have to get to a place where we know who we are, what we want, and be able to express that. Even if it comes with losing someone, you should be honest with that. That authentic honesty is excruciating, yo. I mean, it takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to be that way with people. But the one thing people will have is respect for you. They will respect you. They will respect you. They will respect you. They will respect you. They may not like you after you said some stuff. They may not agree, but they can't ever say you lied to them. And for me, that means a lot. That means a lot for me. That means a lot for me. So I tend to like what they say, thicker skinned women. And so I'm not a guy that shies away from assertive women. I don't like to say women are just so alpha, because a lot of women aren't just alpha females. They're really assertive women that have no other title for what they are other than alpha. But no, they're assertive women because they're assertive, but they're very much still feminine. You just have to demand the feminine out of them, and that's what they want. They want to give up that power. They don't want to be assertive and aggressive all the time. It's debilitating for women. It dries them up. So, so I don't shy away from. I like them because they really, in my experience, they're the ones that are willing to take a little bit more upfront conversation, a little bit more realistic view of where we are, and eat that up, no matter good or bad. So I tend to lean on a little thicker skinned women because that's who I am as a man. I don't have these games. So we're gonna cut to the chase. I've heard some guys have dating experiences, and women are posing these questions to them, and I'm like, well, in little games, I'm like, why are you even playing that game, bro? Like, you can't win there. Like, this one girl was like, we could play truth or dare, this kind of truth or dare game, and he was like, all right, but if I do the truth, then you can't really, you know, say nothing after that, and this, that, and the other. He's negotiating this game, and I'm like, yo, you can't even fucking play that game. And this is what I mean by running Windows 95. Like, some of us guys have to understand that women that are assertive, they're on the offensive. And there's a game being played, especially when you're dealing with younger women, that you got to understand what you're dealing with. And guys don't see the social cues. They don't see it at all because they're so enamored with this woman and her sex and all that they can't really see that they're really not in control. And a lot of dudes don't believe that they want to be in control. But there are the assertive women, a lot of assertive women don't want to be in control when it comes to a man. Because what they understand is if they have to be in control, then they're taking care of the baby. And then who takes care of her? All in all, who takes care of her if she's taking care of the baby, which is the guy. I have a friend. She has what we call a baby dom. He's a swinger that has come over into the BDSM lane, and he's met her, and he's acting like he could be a dom, and they do some age play, and that stuff, serves in the moment. But what I've said is, there's a lot of people that are in the BDSM that's only like, this is for shits and giggles for them. This is not like who they are, and they don't understand that there's a light that never goes off if you're a dominant man. And this dude just missed the marks, and a lot of the things she was saying, I'm like, yo, really. And she's an assertive female, but she likes to be submissive to a man. But what I'm saying to her is like, listen, you're a leader, you're a manager at work, you're a leader. You have people that you help in the community. Like, you're a leader, so really, you're going to attract people that want to learn. And he's a guy that wants to learn, but it's like it's like the young prince, right? That becomes the king. He's a boy. But then you put the heavy sword in his hand, tell him, all right, rule the kingdom. Like, he don't know, so he needs advisors. So you're his advisor. But at the same time, you need him to be that ruler. You need him to be a more advanced, experienced ruler, but he's not. And he's really not taking a mantle of it. And he's always admitting where he's wrong. And then he starts looking at other things that make, it's really what I was telling her. It's like some self-destructive shit. He starts doing things and saying things that, diminishes things. And then all of a sudden he'll be like, oh, well, forget it, do your thing. I wasn't really that good. And, guys, man, their egos get hurt real easy, man. Instead of just being humble and just saying, look, I want to be that Don for you, but I really need to learn more, you know, but really learn. You just can't say that and not do no homework. And so this guy is really saying things that sound good, acting in the moment sometimes, but he's not really doing any homework. So you got to do laps, and he's not doing laps. And so what can we do? We have to know ourselves. We have to know if we're a bleeding heart type. We have to know if we're the non-emotional type. We have to know if we're, the sadistic type. We have to know if we're, where we lie in the game. And, what I hear from a lot of older dudes is, they got about 15 minutes in them, and they're about done. They're not really interested in sex. And so if you're that kind of person that's not really into sex or interested in sex for whatever reason, what about your partner? Like, how do they get pleasured? When I hear a guy say 15 minutes, okay, cool, you have 15 minutes, but did you still give her an hour? Did you make sure she got off? But it just feels like that's all I got, and when I'm done with the whole thing. And so, but you're not transparent with that when you meet somebody. You're not telling them like, really sex, once I get it off, it's off. You're going to promote like you're that 28-year-old that could pump all night, and then you're going to get her in bed every 15 minutes. Now, if you could be upfront with her, like, look, John, I'm about this and that, and I'll give you a good 15 minutes, and that's what you got. But, your bills will get paid, or blah, 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 blah. I mean, there's got to be an exchange here, right? Or I got 15 minutes, but, I'll help you get off. I'll eat it or play with it or whatever you need to help you get off. Let's do it. You want to put some porn on, whatever the case may be. Like, there has to be some long-term vision with how we're interacting with people and how that affects people long-term. How, if you're going to have multiple lovers, how to have them all, how to satisfy them all. Having a situation where if you're a baby dom and you're becoming into your game, you have to know that when you meet your submissive, whether it be every day, once a month, twice a year, whatever the case may be, you must show up as that guy. You can't never like take a day off. You don't have to actually get into anything kinky, but your dominance of the relationship has to be there. That submission has to be there. But what do you guys think? I would like to hear your comments. There will be a part 2 of this because I have more to go in on this situation with my friend, and I have more to go in on this Windows 95 mentality and how we need to really upgrade our thought processes when it comes to relationships with lovers. Like, we really need this conversation. You know how to find me, Sir INQ, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can always email me at sirinq09@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, peace.